You know, ladies and gentlemen, I promised you this weekend would be a trio of summer blockbusters on Sportswire Radio. We are in the middle of the summer blockbuster season because we're starting the blockbuster season early because our guest, the middleman of the trio of summer blockbuster shows on Sportswire Radio in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that he, DBW, EBW, and LAW most certainly helped build to the tune of over 1,500 subscribers. You might want to say has gone global. You might want to say there'll be a future in other places. We'll talk about that. We'll also relive what happened last week at Fallout. We'll talk about the road to Total Domination X. We'll maybe even bring up a wedding invitational still, and we'll talk about a number of different things. Plus, I'm going to talk about a guest that's returning to Sportswire Radio for the first time in over a year, and this man has plenty of history with him. Plus, we're going to talk about, I'm sure, a number of other topics, and I might even have a non-wrestling blockbuster announcement that I'm interested in something. Plus, we are going to talk with you in the chat and everybody else. And since our guest hasn't been here in nearly 5 months, and we are, after all, in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rocked, baby, because I see my chat is waiting for it. He's smoking it up because he wants that introduction. And, after seeing Ballerina not once but twice, I'm ready to give him that introduction. I'm going to give him that Baba Yaga-like introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show up in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So, with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one Cable Sports Show, a man that is the newest member of the LAW roster and the reigning, defending DBW Global Champion. His name is simply put the Prince of DBW, the future. How are we doing?
You know, Tom, I'm doing absolutely tremendous. I'm on a whirlwind of emotions right now. I'm still at a loss for words of what happened last week.
Well, we're gonna get to that, and definitely, you did mention the world. You mentioned that word world, and you are global now. You are the DBW global champion. You are now the newest member of the
Yes, sir.
legit alternative wrestling roster, which certainly has as stacked a roster as anybody, certainly outside of DBW. And yeah, you should be feeling tremendous because you are definitely on top of, well, maybe the globe. You said the world, but you're the global champion. You're on top of the globe, and it's good to see you. It's been a minute. It's been almost 5 months, and I thought about it. I said, you know what? It's a trio of blockbuster shows on Sportswire Radio this weekend, and we got to bring Austin James back after that match he had with
Yeah.
Silas. Yeah, definitely turn those lights off and put him back on because I know you are still celebrating. You have been celebrating here for 7
Oh,
consecutive days. I don't blame you, but certainly, first things first, congratulations, champ.
thank you, Tom. And that means a lot because this win wasn't just for me, it was for everybody who has helped me, build me, support me along the way to becoming this global champion. I want to thank everybody because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been here. And I want to send a special thank you to the president of DBW, Brian Phillips, for not allowing Silas to screw me once again and actually give me a fair shot. So
Well, we're
thank
going
you
to
guys.
definitely show the match. We're going to definitely show the match. It's been a match that I have been wanting to talk about for a week now. Obviously, we watched it last week, and I want to talk about it with the people here of Sportswire Radio because I see some different people here in the chat. We'll definitely get into that. And let me ask you this question. Usually I'll start off, and what does it mean to you to be the global champion? But I'm going to ask you a different question because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, baby, the platform that you, DBW, EBW, LAW, most certainly helped build
Yes, sir.
Sportsfire Radio to the tune of over 1,500 plus subscribers. You're the global champion. You're the newest member of one of the most up and coming companies around right now in LAW. And Austin James, is this the best week of your career currently?
Uh, Currently, yes. Honestly, hands down, this has been like the best week of my life. Because ever since that moment of me winning a global champion, everything has been falling right into place. Everybody wants me, and it's like the hard work and it's finally paying off. So it's honestly is the best. I'm just don't know what to say. Like I'm literally
Because if you
lost.
don't know, and I got that, and I got that, and I knew that would be the answer. But if you think about it, right, you win the global championship, and then a few short days later, you're announced to be the newest member of the LAW roster. And for those that are maybe not aware of, LAW on their roster right now has two men, and the first one is Godric Sanwell, the gentleman of exquisite caliber, who in a few short weeks. And as a matter of fact, in 2 weeks from today, he's wrestling for an NWA championship. He's wrestling for the NWA Midwestern Championship against the El Jaguar, Dante Casanova, and Joshua Kavad. And then the other man is Dave Jameson, the Psycho Killer, who's the USWA Keystone State Champion. And on top of that, in 6 days from now, he's wrestling this guy you've probably heard of, named the artist formerly known as Fuego del Sol. So joining that roster, those two names off the top. Then you've got guys like the Soul Taker, who just a few short weeks ago tag teamed with a man I interviewed, Savio Vega. So you think about what you've had this last week. I mean, it's almost like you're on cloud nine. Let me ask you a follow-up question. I know that the what ifs are always so hard sometimes to kind of think, well, what's the answer for it? But let's say for whatever reason, we're going to get into it. Mr. Phillips doesn't allow Silas Walker to maybe walk out of there, and maybe he allows him to do what he intended to do and keep that DBW Global Championship. Do you think that maybe LAW wouldn't have signed you? Because you're a global champion. You're global. You just defeated Silas Walker. DBW is a company, 4,000 plus subs, million views just about. We know that Unfinished Business drew over 1,000 plus views. Fallout's closing in on that number. And for whatever reason, if Mr. Phillips doesn't make that decision, do you think it's possible that the LAW powers that be don't sign the future Austin James?
Uh,
A tough one. I know it's a tough question. This whole week on Sportswire, I've been told I'm giving everybody tough questions, but you win. You're a global champion, right? If I'm an LAW council member, I'm the powers that be in LAW. I see a global champion. I want a global footprint, right? Because I've already got
yeah.
Nate Jameson, who I just mentioned. He's wrestling the artist formerly known as Fuego del Sol. On top of that, Godric Sandwell in 14 days from now, wrestling the NWA Midwestern champion. And what better way to follow that up and to expand my global footprint by having a global champion a part of my roster? And I think that that's certainly what you could have said, that because you won that match, that's why the powers that be in LAW, like Pav Novak, like Michael McMoney, signed Austin James.
I think I would have still got signed.
You would have still got signed. Would it have been this quick?
Not this quick, but I think I would have, because of the hard work that I put in that ring. Every time I step inside a wrestling ring, I give it my all, my 100%, no matter what it is. Blood, sweat, tears, I'm gonna do it. Because I'm doing this not just for me, for my family, for my friends, and all my supporters. I'm gonna, so sooner or later, I think I would have got signed.
I think that you would have definitely got signed. Obviously, thankfully, from your vantage point, that we don't have to think about that what if, because they signed you. And we're going to certainly talk a lot about LAW, because there are some familiar faces that, what a small world, are joining the LAW roster that you know from DBW. So let me ask you then, before we put the match up, now that you've held this championship and now that it's been a week, what does it mean to you, the Prince of DBW, Austin James, to be now the DBW Global Champion?
It means, honestly, everything to me, Tom. It means the absolute world to me. Because now it's my time to show everybody why I am who I say I am and why I can back up everything I say. And when I tell you, Tom, I don't predict stuff, I spoil it. Everything I say, I do. 2-time tag champs, global champion. I told Silas I was going to come for him, and now I did. And I got what means the most to me. And now I'm going to showcase why this is the Workhorse Championship and why I am the workhorse of DBW.
All right, we're going to get into that in a minute, but especially after what you went through at Unfinished Business, and we saw the back and forth also play out on Confessionals, which is on the DBW YouTube page, and we're going to certainly be plugging a lot of DBW over the next hour or so. Did it make it that much more meaningful because of what you went through at Unfinished Business and on social media to get this shot and then to finally claim that DBW Global Championship is yours?
Yes, it honestly, yes, Tom. Like, it meant everything. Because it honestly,
especially after what you went through with Unfinished Business, on social media, the back and forth.
Everything I went through, it was worth it. Every bit of it was worth it. Because it just showed me that I can work 10 times harder to get what I really want.
You did. Well, you definitely did that. And unfortunately, you were a part of, which sometimes does play out in this sport that we all love, is politics. And obviously, there's been this whole thing with Silas Walker becoming the general manager and this whole thing about him being in power and Stephen Gaynor. And you were kind of caught in the middle of that. Silas was here after he had defeated you and talked about you a lot after Unfinished Business. And I mean, there's certainly, for the first time in your career in DBW, had to be this level of weirdness because of just what went on between Walker, Gaynor, and then, well, Mr. Phillips himself. And you could have been a casualty potentially of that. You could have been a casualty, sir.
Yes, I honestly could have been. Yes, you're right, Tom. But trust me, I know Gainer's probably listening. He still got something coming. I haven't forgot about him. I give receipts.
So you still have some blame toward Gaynor. You still feel that Gaynor made a bad decision, and that was at your obviously behest, and that's something that you have a long memory about.
Yes, and I'm not gonna forget. I'm not,
Yep.
not one bit, because
And
this could have happened way sooner.
well, maybe it's from your vantage point, it should have happened at Unfinished Business, but the match was obviously, there was a decision made in that match. There was a deal between Walker and Gaynor, and you were the example of that. You wanted to continue, you wanted to keep fighting, but obviously that wasn't the cards. I mean, between the period of Unfinished Business and Fallout, I know that Mr. Phillips or Mr. Judgment grants you that opportunity for one more shot. Obviously, that all played out on Judgment's confessionals, and go and watch it on the DBW YouTube page. But did you ever have some doubts, or ever some like, hey, in that in between period from Unfinished Business and Fallout, that this may not happen, or something's just going to be stacked against you? Was there ever that period, at least for a few days, that level of maybe doubt toward, could this happen?
Yes, there was a couple times, I'll admit that there was
Yeah.
doubt in my head, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take anything away from Silas. Like I said, Silas was one hell of a global champion. He 300 and some days,
He was
longest
almost a
run.
year, almost a year. And that was something we talked about here on Sportswire, that being
Like,
a year as the global champion was something he wanted to do. He wanted that
yes,
milestone.
he might have not done things the right way, but the way he was trying to carry the championship, I see his point a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he went about it was not the right way.
Well, being a tag champion an ego here in DBW about being a champion for a long time. What you and Colin did with the tag titles speaks for itself. So you know what it's like to hold the championship for a long time. I mean, so
Yeah.
in one sense, I know it's not how you would do things. I know that's not the Prince of DBW, Austin James's way, but you know what? It worked for Silas. I mean, listen, I'll still say it. He was a Nostradamus, because look at Colton Lee and now Robert Pearson. I mean, they basically, it took them a minute, but they saw the light of Silas Walker. And look at what Silas Walker did to his career. He rejuvenated himself. He reinvented. You look at now what he's done in the past year. He's been reinvented. He's been rejuvenated. He's on the best run of his career. I mean, he had more power than maybe anybody in DBW history. I mean, for a minute here. So, I mean, it may not be your way of doing things, but I'll tell you what, for Silas Walker, it worked.
Like, I give it to him. It worked for him. And I give him credit. It lit a fire in Colton Lee. And lit a fire in Robert Pearson.
Robert Pearson, we didn't even know where he was. He was on a milk carton. I mean, Robert Pearson was this. I mean, literally. I mean, break the fourth wall. We didn't know if he was alive for a few days. I mean, people were worried. I mean, people were messaging me, "Hey, what's going on with Robert Pearson?" I'm like, I don't know. Everything seemed fine. We spoke, and I mean, we hadn't seen him in DBW in months. And Silas Walker, in his legendary ways, certainly showed what maybe Colton Lee and Robert Pearson should have did months ago, and now they've gotten it. Now they're together. But there's no question what else Silas Walker has done in terms of that global championship. I mean, you're going to have to follow that up. You're going to have to follow up what Silas Walker did. I know you're the Prince of DBW. I know you're the future, but that's a tall task, champ, to be able to follow up what Silas Walker just did with that DBW Global Championship.
Yeah. That is going to be a tall task, and I'm going to do everything I possibly can to prove it. That's why I'm going to take on any and all challenges. Step up to the bat. I don't care where you're from. I'll take you all on.
Well,
I want to
well,
prove why. I want to prove why this is the best championship in DBW. Why this is the workhorse championship.
we talked about that with Silas. Obviously that was something we talked about in the second half of last year when he won the title. He won it in July, and we talked about the fact that that championship was the standard bearer. That championship was your workhorse championship. That was like what your intercontinental title was in WWE. Obviously, what Gunther's done with it. Obviously, previous champions, whether it was Shawn Michaels, whether it was Bret Hart, figure out intercontinental champion. And that title is that here in DBW. So you're going to have to take on almost anybody from not just DBW, but anywhere in this circuit. And DBW's roster is as big as anybody's out there. And I mean, those are some strong words before I put the match on there, champ. You sure that you want to take on all challengers from anywhere and in any place, anytime?
Yes, I'm 100% sure, Tom. Cause
Yeah.
Tom, this might come as shock to some people, but
Mm-hmm.
this means more to me than that World Heavyweight Championship does.
Why?
This
Why does this mean more to you than when you won the tag titles with Colin? Why does this mean more to you? Tell me.
no, it's not even just that. This championship means more to me than the World Championship and the Tag Championship. Cause me and Khan made one hell of a tag team, but
You did.
this is a chance for me to actually prove why I am that guy, Tom. Why I am who I say I am. Not just because of a title, but to prove why I am that guy, Tom. Like I want to showcase why this can mean more and showcase why work hard and dedication can do.
Well, you've definitely done that. There's no question what you've done here in DBW, what you've done in EBW, and I'm sure what we'll talk about in a little while in LAW. You most certainly have proven that you can do it and you deserve to be here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. And I'm going to put that match up for those that are
Yes.
listening and watching it because I want people to see firsthand what you did because I know there's a mix of different people here and such, and I want to give people that opportunity to watch it because certainly it's something that I have been very excited to talk about with you here for a while. So we're going to put it up here. And also, if you're here on Sportswire Radio, we are here with the brand new DBW Global Champion, the one and only Mr. Austin James. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all music and wrestling matters. And we are here on Sportswire. And if you're here, like, share, or follow, and also give us a subscribe button. So obviously, we're going to put the match up here shortly. And here we are. I'm basically got us ready to intros. So here we go. I'm going to get your thoughts now. Now that we're going to, well, we'll let you come out here for a minute. But obviously, so talk to me about what's going through your mind here is now that you see yourself coming out and Silas Walker. Talk to me about what's going through your mind here.
So at this time, I was thinking, like, what do I like? I was praying to to the gods. I prayed to my father. I was going ready. I was waiting for war, and as soon as I go out there, I kind of had that backbone, like, what did Silas have planned today?
Mm-hmm.
Because of what he done lately. So I had that in the back of my mind. But when I hit that curtain and I heard that energy, the support from the fans, I knew that it was my world.
Let me ask you a question. And I know we've talked about your father here before. You've been here a lot the last almost 2 years. You said you prayed before you went out there and you went through the curtain. Do you pray normally before you go out there in the ring, or was this a certain special occasion because of the magnitude of this match and what this moment could be for your career?
I don't pray that often, Tom. I don't. But for this, I needed I prayed because I needed all the support, and the one person that you can always go to for support when you need it is the man, God above.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Definitely praise his glory, and I think that we all, most of us, would certainly agree with that. So this was obviously you needed that extra, you needed that faith, you needed that ability, and it reminds me. I watched Mission Impossible a few times, and there was one of the things. I'm not spoiling the movie, but the future, right? When you think about the future, there's three things that you have the future on in order for it to be successful. It's kindness, trust, and moral compassion. So there you go. So those are the three things they talked about in the movie, and those were sounds like the three things you needed in order for you to get out there and win this. But all the prayers in the world doesn't take away what Silas Walker is doing out there, because he has certainly got a different way of doing things. And boy, he is not a happy man right
Yes.
now. And you are just now it's about to happen. And I was also
Yeah.
curious on this. Talk to me about also being in the main event. You were the main
Look,
event here of this. Talk about that added responsibility in being the main event here at Fallout last weekend. What did that mean to you?
like, Tom, to carry that meant everything. Like, that meant I had the whole world watching me. Everybody was on that spotlight watching me at that moment. I had the weight of the world on my shoulders at that moment. But to be in that spotlight, it's my first singles main event in DBW, mind you. My very first singles main event. Because I've been in main events before
Yep.
in DBW, but my first singles match. So it meant everything. And it's in that very moment, I knew I had to give it all, because this is what I've been working for, what I've been practicing for.
Maybe you didn't know if this would have been the last
Yeah,
opportunity.
yeah, this might have been my last opportunity. Like I said, this was my last opportunity. So if I would have lost, I probably would never seen this. I would have
Well,
probably ever.
I mean, that's why I asked you. Listen, I mean, I don't know if you would have been signed by LAW this weekend. I don't know if they would have thought Austin James should be the future of their roster alongside Godric Sandwell, Day Jamison, La El Shaddai, the likes of Daniel Tafua, Pepper Pride, who's a part of their roster, Mickey Knuckles. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that would have happened, but you know what? Silas Walker doesn't care about any of that because he got off to a strong start here in this match. And
He did.
I mean,
That hurt.
talk to me
That
about this.
hurt a lot
I could
right
see.
there.
I could see you're in some pain there. Almost is like Ballerina. I mean, some of the stuff in that movie was just as painful as that. I mean, he obviously wanted to work off to a strong start. He's continuing, by the way, what he did to you last time you were in the ring with him at Unfinished Business. So
Yeah.
almost a continuation. How you feeling right now at this moment?
Right now, I felt like I can like I felt like it was he put my bad time. I felt like at that moment it was gonna be like unfinished business his way, because I didn't know what he was gonna do next. Because at that moment I was seeing stars.
Well, he's definitely looking like a star, and you're not the star at the moment, but obviously he's working to the way he wants. Silas has been here a lot, and he talks a lot about tempos. He likes to have a certain style and a certain pace here. And right now, it seems like what he's doing is working the pace that he wants to make sure that he walks away with the DBW Global Championship once again, and on his journey to being a 1-year champion. And just talk to me right now about just what
Like,
you want to do and get back in this match, which you obviously, thankfully, from your vantage point, ducked in,
yeah,
and you gave Silas a dose of his own medicine here.
yeah. Because honestly, I've been around people who have chopped the hardest, and honestly, Silas, that like what you doing there, kid? That was baby. He let me rest in the corner, baby. He literally let me rest in the corner and let me catch my breath. That's where he messed up at.
Good point. That's a good point, because sometimes when we had Cato on here yesterday and he gave his opponent, Ox McCoy, a little bit of an opportunity to get a second win in their match. He went up off the top rope of their cage match for the Hardcore Championship, and Silas kind of did the same thing. He gave you a moment, which allowed you to get a second win in your composure to get you right back in this match. Now you're giving Silas a dose of his own medicine. Silas is a grappler. Silas is a guy that likes the submissions. Silas is a technical wrestler. He's a student of the game, and you're basically giving him a dose of his own medicine right now, I see.
Yeah, it's because what people fail to realize about me, I'm not just your ordinary high flyer. I'm a hybrid. I can out wrestle. I can do high flying. I can do all that.
You had dealt with some injuries before this match, and I was wondering, how were you feeling going into this match, and did that play a role in anything you were going to do here throughout the match?
Um, at that moment, I felt 100% time. I felt like I was
100%.
at my very best.
That's the first time in a long time you've been at
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, it's the first time. Yes.
I mean, that's got to be what, 8-9 months? That's the first time you were at 100% because you got injured toward the end of last summer, if I'm not mistaken. You were dealing with some injuries for a while, and
Yeah,
this is
something like that. Yes.
8-9 months. That must have certainly given you an opportunity. And you are certainly getting the DBW fans involved. Obviously, our DBW fans are
Mhm.
certainly right up there. And talk to me how the fans played a role in this match and giving you that strength to hang in there to eventually become global.
Because with that, it's like because at that moment there was nothing Silas could have done. There was no tricks he could have played, no tactics, because I had the fans. So if we would have tried something dirty, the fans would have had my back.
Well, Silas
And
tried definitely to do some
having them
dirty things.
engage with me like that made it feel like, hey, it's just a matter of time, just a matter of time.
It's such an interesting topic lately on Sportswire, and
But
that some wrestlers
it,
have come on here.
that's
Yeah,
something I haven't seen in a while though. He went
yes.
under the ring, and like that threw me off. I'm like, where did he go?
Well, I mean,
That
he
I
obviously
give him that one.
he used his strength, which is that he's a guy that's going to use his psychology. He's going to use his veteran
I
tactics.
give him that. He got a mind, and he got a mind. He
He
knows
got
what he's
himself
doing.
in. Listen, he's a man that's got power in DBW inside and outside the ring. So it ain't going to be that easy to knock him off. I mean, he's going to find a way, and that's what he's been doing. I mean, it doesn't matter how you win in the record books. It doesn't show whether it's by cheating or whether it's illegal or whatever activity it is. It just shows whether you win or lose. And Silas Walker has done that from time to time, and he's definitely showing you that, you know what, he's trying to beat you at your own game because he just went off the top rope there, Austin James.
Yeah, like that shocked me because I haven't seen Corey go flying in a long time. Like that Silas Walker man. Whew,
Yeah, I don't know
that actually
anyone named
hurt.
Corey, but I know Silas Walker. I know Silas Walker, but yeah, you definitely, I can see we're surprised, and he's going back to what he did at the very beginning of the match. I mean, you could just see he is just using almost your own game against you, but you find a way here, and you're getting up to the top rope, and this is where you love to be. You love to be in the high rent district. You love to go up there where you like to be a high flyer, and that was beautiful. That was certainly something I
Yeah,
can't wait to see you do at 325 7th Street, the Richardson Building in Parkersburg, West Virginia. I'll get to that in a little while, but boy, I mean, you definitely made Silas Walker feel like
yeah.
he just felt a little bit of a crash there, and you definitely crashed at his expense. That was a crash and burn. Let's put it that way.
Honestly, I thought at that moment I had him. That honestly shocked me.
Well, I mean, he's the champion for a reason, and now you're working him down, and you're obviously continuing to do what you do best. And now you're getting, you're beating him here at his own games, and we'll get to the chat after the match. I want to put some
Yeah,
plugs out there, and
um,
boy, that's a pretty move there. It's a pretty, what's that, a half Boston
'cause-
crab there?
yes, that's actually a sharpshooter, or you can say scorpion deathlock,
Yeah,
whatever one you
well,
want to
he's
call
like
it.
a half Scorpion Deathlock, half
Yeah,
Boston Crab. But nevertheless, you definitely thought you had this one, but he's the
yeah,
veteran. He's the champion for a
yeah,
reason, and he finds a way. He finds a way to just Do
He finds a
whatever
way
it
to get
takes.
out.
Yeah, you got to give him that.
I do give him that. But going in this match, I knew I had to play his games. Like I had to go into technical and use every bit of what I know in the business to win this match.
Well, you're doing that. I tell you what, this is definitely the main event for a reason. Let me ask you this. I know unfinished business was a controversial outcome for you. Did you watch the match at all to prepare for this, or you didn't really go back and
Yes.
watch the tape?
Honestly, Tom, that replayed in my mind when I went to sleep at night because I literally could not sleep because that haunted me.
Really?
Yeah, that really could like that. At unfinished business was really supposed to be my moment. It was stolen from me.
Well, I mean, that's something you'd have to talk to Stephen Gaynor about. But at this point, it doesn't matter. You've gotten your rematch. You've gotten another shot at this, and that was obviously something done at the, again, Mr. Judgment's confessionals, where he made that decision. He overruled Silas Walker on that. But obviously, you're trying to put him away, and he ain't going down so easy.
No, and I did not expect this much fight out of Silas, but
You
like
didn't.
this, I really didn't. I thought he was gonna do something really cheap, dirty, and actually try to get out of it early.
But he's been
Because,
champion for a year. I mean, you knew that he was obviously going to use some of his wrestling skills, and he's got a lot of them. He's a little bit of a different wrestler than you, but he's versatile in
yeah,
his own right. I mean,
but
he's got some under the radar type of strength. He's
let's
got
be honest, Tom. He,
what
he was trying to avoid this match.
he was trying to avoid it, but you know what? Inside the ring, what he's doing, the man's obviously in some ways is underrated in his skills and his size set, and he's obviously looking to head for the exits. He's looking to run to the hills, to quote Iron Maiden. And then
Yep.
let's put the volume up here, because obviously this is a moment that's going to live in time, especially if you're an Austin James and DBW fan. So let's get to the tape.
You may think you're in charge, but this is my company. The match continues.
Now walk me through that moment where obviously Mr. Walker was going to leave. He was going to get counted out, retain the championship, and then he gets cut off by Mr. Phillips, the president of the company, the man that his company, and walk me through that moment, and you see that all play out.
When I seen that happen, I knew at that moment, like God had my back at that moment. Lit-
That goes back to the
Like,
praying. That goes back to the
like,
praying.
cause at that moment, it could have been all over for me. It really could have been. All my hard work, dreams could have been smashed at that very moment. But he could have never got counted out because it was a no holds barred. But he could have left. But
He was trying to leave. He was trying to leave, and that's what he was trying to do. Just forget about it, and that's
yeah,
it. He was trying to do. He was trying to walk out. I mean, that's a count out pretty much. I mean, by forfeit. I mean, he would have kept the title, and he was going to run away. Well, maybe he was sick. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Mr. Walker had a twinkle in his eye. Maybe he just, I don't know, but it doesn't matter, because Mr. Phillips wanted him to go back out there, and I mean, no one's going to tell him no. And you did it. You finally won the global championship. And walk me through this feeling that you have right
so
now.
when
Everything through.
when I hit him with the death note and I heard the 1, 2, 3 and the bell rung, I, everything at that moment froze because it was like a dream come true for me. Because I worked my ass off for this very moment. I went to the gym. I went and did everything I could to possibly prepare for this match. And when I heard that 3, it was like so special because it's let's be honest, it's because of Brian Phillips that it happened. But
It is because of Brian Phillips, figuratively and literally, and he
literally,
made a decision. You know, I don't know what your thoughts are on this, as we see obviously Colin and Roland Havoc come out. Obviously, your brothers in Ego, who you have gone to war with side by side for years with. But when I saw that moment between Mr. Walker and Mr. Phillips, it reminded me of almost Vince McMahon and Bret Hart. There was a famous segment once on Raw where Bret Hart was coming out and there was a disagreement of some sort. It was the first time there was some sort of Vince McMahon was shown on camera with some sort of power, and
yeah.
their eyes looked almost the same. And this was that moment. And I don't know if that's what went through your mind as that played out, but that's what for me played out, that this was right now two men that were at odds, and Brian Phillips made the decision that he thought was the right one, the one that you had fought so hard for and were robbed of it, unfinished business from his vantage point. And that's why you got that match to continue, and Silas Walker was forced to go back out there, and then you finished the job and became global.
Honestly, I did not expect after everything me and Judgment been through with Ace Christian and all that back in the day. I didn't expect him to do that. That honestly shocked me. That just shows me that he is trying to do right and trying to do what's best for business.
Well, he's a good man. He's a good man, obviously. He cares about his company. He cares about his wrestlers. And whether he liked you or not, the decision was that match had to continue. And Silas Walker, he couldn't walk out. And you got that opportunity. We could see it here. Two men embrace, two men that have been through wars, but this was your moment. This was your moment to become global. This was your moment. And maybe in some ways, if you don't mind me saying this, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll break the fourth wall. Maybe Pav Novak, maybe Tommy Hara, and maybe Michael McMoney, maybe they should be thanking Mr. Phillips, because if Mr. Phillips doesn't force Silas Walker to continue, I'm saying it still, that we don't know if you would have been signed. We don't know if you would be right now LAW. It's a very strong possibility that, listen, because of that decision, because of his decision to continue that match, you became global, and that caught the eyes of Pav Novak, Michael McMoney, and Tommy Hara, and you are literally the future of LAW and global. And we need to, and those three men especially need to thank Mr. Phillips.
Yeah, man. Some people might see it like that. I'm not so sure if I see it like that,
I
but some
understand you're the
people might.
competitor.
But
But it's his decision that it had such a ripple effect in what your week was like. Because what if Silas leaves again? Is Austin James here on Sportswire, or is Silas Walker back on Sportswire once again for a victory celebration and maybe saying he could be one of the very greats in all time in this circuit, in this community, and he would just talk about his run and what he expects to do with his power. And I mean, he might be here instead of you. We might have balloons. We might have hot dogs giving out to the chat. We might have victory celebrations. We might have just, who knows? It almost might be like a State of the Union. But instead, God and Brian Phillips decided that, you know what? It's your time. And this match needs to be decided because it was supposed to be that way. And there can't be no other way, to quote somebody else. There can't be no other way. And the only way was Austin James to get his fair shake at that global championship. And, well, you got it.
yes, I did. And thank you. Thank you to everybody. Honestly, thank you.
Well, you know what? If you're here right now in the chat, I want you to hit the sub button for DBW. I'm going to put their Instagram page up. I'm going to put their Facebook links up. So please support DBW. We are on that road to Total Domination X. And Austin James. I'm going to be asking him about that in a few minutes. So please, everybody, hit the sub button. And yeah, certainly, thankfully, I didn't sneeze on my microphone, but that's okay. But certainly, let's get to the chat. I want to talk to everybody. They've been waiting for 45 minutes because you've had a lot to say tonight. And speaking of people, by the way, that are here first, Chase Wakefield, the man that you're apparently also now a part of the LAW roster with, and he got a much-needed victory in his own right last week. He defeated Aaron Blaze in a very highly anticipated match here on this platform, and Chase Wakefield is signed with LAW, so is you, and you're a part of his wedding. And any thoughts on Chase Wakefield?
Honestly, at first, when I first came to DBW and met Chase Wakefield, I wasn't a big fan of him. But he kind of grew on me, he did. Yeah. And I like him. He's actually a cool guy. And I love this. I love to square off with him one more time.
Well, you know what? He's a part of the penitentiary match coming up at Total Domination X. But hey, you know what? LAW certainly. Who knows? I'm sure that Mr. Novak, Mr. Hara, Mr. McMoney, and Courtney Wood is in the background, and they can figure that out if that's something they want to do. But okay. But yeah, this has definitely been an interesting show tonight. This has been probably the most emotional Austin James has been here on Sportswire to date. He's been here a lot, and it's been very interesting. I agree. Thank you, Zilla, for tuning in. Zilla was there last week for Fallout in the chat. I agree. All wrestling matters. Thank you very much. Yeah. I said it was a big show tonight. It was such a big show. I decided to take a shower before I went on the air and put on my Wick shirt. Put on my John Wick shirt. I had to. I mean, it's that type of show. But thank you, Zilla. Yes, and we're very happy ROEW is back. We're also happy DBW is here. And Austin James in caps locks. Yeah, in caps locks. I agree with that. Congratulations. Andrew Lovelace, the be-all, end-all. Obviously, Andrew Lovelace is a part of things in a number of different places. Maybe you'll see him in LAW. Maybe you'll see him. You never know. And Mr. Wakefield. And, this Chase Wakefield wedding invitational, now that we're getting one step closer to it. We have D'Angelo LaFlame tomorrow, who's wrestling Aaron Blaze, and Mr. LaFlame's here in your chair, 8 o'clock Eastern time. But as we get a little closer to the Chase Wakefield wedding invitational, Aaron Jones just responded to Mike Damage, and we're going to see that happen now. And I mean, any thoughts on the wedding invitational now that we're getting one step closer to it?
Well, I'm more focused and more ready than ever. I'll tell you that.
I believe you.
I'm itching. I'm itching to get in that ring again. But
I believe you will.
I'm gonna let people know right now that I'm a different guy. I'm not coming with all talk. Yeah. You see? Cause this man, I've been wanting this man since day one when I came to DBW. There's no more ducking, no more running. I'm going to come, bring my A game. I'm going to do what I do best. Show out, steal the show. Get the victory. Because I'm coming and I'm going to hit him harder than he's ever been hit. And I'm going to go and celebrate a couple beers with Chase Wakefield. Just because.
All right. That was clever. All right, cool. And yes, we're very excited about the Chase Wakefield wedding invitational. And I know D'Angelo LaFlame is going to talk plenty about that. Now, I'll give you something in a little while. I don't have a beer for you, but I got something for you in a little while. But I got something for you, and that's Silas Walker, because you knew he wasn't just going to let you celebrate and just have this to yourself. If there had to be someone to do it, at least it was Austin James. But remember, anybody can get it. The hard part is keeping it. My sights have been set. Your thoughts?
My thoughts?
Yeah.
You see it? Come get it, Silas.
Oh! I mean, now what do you think? Obviously, Mr. Phillips granted you a rematch with Mr. Walker. I mean, what about a trilogy? What about one more time, the rubber match this year? I mean, what do you think about that? Yeah. I mean, naturally, that former champion gets first rights. Don't they get first dibs at a title shot?
Yeah, he can have first dibs if he wants, but that's if he's not scared Like I said, he been ducking and dodging me. So, Silas, you got all the power to make it happen. If you want this again, you know where to find me.
Well, we'll certainly find out. I have no doubt that there'll be some more comments on that. Speaking of people who I mentioned, the other component of the Chase Wakefield comeback story potentially in DBW last weekend, Aaron Blaze, the headline, who's wrestling my guest tomorrow night, D'Angelo the Flame, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And he definitely was excited about you coming on. And now that I get a chance to ask you this, now that he's a part of DBW, what's your opinion so far on the headline, Aaron Blaze?
Uh, that man is talented. I tell you that.
I agree.
He is actually a bright young star. I see a big future in him. I really do.
I agree. Oh, I agree.
Like he's living up to his name. He's really living up to the headline.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, and he's been around a long time, but this is the first time he's on a roster with the variety of different talents that have wrestled.
Because DBW got some of the best and high caliber talents that you can ever
Absolutely.
find.
Pros, underground guys, indie guys. It's a mix of some of the very best talents, and we're very happy to see that Aaron Blaze is a part of DBW, and I'll be talking a lot about him tomorrow night with D'Angelo the Flame. My guest yesterday, the controversial one, Cato, wanted to say hello, and he shared a locker room with D'Angelo last month, and he shared a locker room with him in other places, and it always revolves around D'Angelo the Flame. And thank you, my man Cato. Love Cato. And Cato's also wrestling next weekend at WrestleMania, and he's also wrestling in the Juggalos the following weekend. Really cool stuff. I called it months ago. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. I know you did.
And, well, there you go. Everyone's saying hellos. The legendary Doc Holliday is in the house. The legendary Doc Holliday, of course, from the GBYWN. He was the Riot in the Ring winner from our friends in NEW. And hello to everybody. But speaking of people, there's somebody, which we'll get to this in a few minutes, but there's somebody now from LAW that's basically, I guess this is their way of introducing themselves to you. This is Daniel Tafua. Daniel Tafua, the one and only Daniel Tafua, the chosen one himself, the mighty Liga. And he would also like to introduce himself to you by saying that, would you like to test your dedication against a real tribal chief? I mean, that's obviously something I guess he would like to do in Parkersburg, West Virginia, 325 7th Street, the Richardson Building. And this is the first official LAW member to introduce themselves to you.
Look, if that's what he wants, he can have it. All you gotta do is just show up. Or we could do it at LAW. We could do it anywhere.
I mean, I think LAW would be a really interesting thing because Daniel Tafua just came off wrestling for the Indie Division Championship there. He's battled with the Soul Taker, who's very well known, just tag team with Savio Vega. And I would love to see two up-and-coming stars, Austin James, the Future, and the chosen one, Daniel Tafua. I mean, that's a potential dream match. I would love to see that possibility. That would be...
I'd love to do it.
But and I'll tell you what, Pat Novak...
I'm not just a prince for a reason.
That's true. That is very true. And I'll tell you
if the match happens, I'm going to do what I do best. Still out, steal a show, and win.
You know what? I certainly wouldn't expect anything less from you. I want to give a plug to our friends, first of all, over at the All Wrestling Matters archives, because they've got a bunch of different footage out that they've been posting from different shows out there. And our friends from NEW are part of that, and IMF and Summer Bash, all these other great shows. And if you like to check out some of the footage, you can hit a sub for me on their YouTube page, and you'll see some content. And who knows, maybe you'll see content from LAW. Maybe you'll see content from DBW on there. But do me a favor, hit the sub button for the All Wrestling Matters archive page. A lot of content, a lot more content coming up. And we thank them for their support. And everybody join me in giving a sub to our friends here at the All Wrestling Matters Archives group. Also here, more from Mr. Tafua. If you decide you want to go one-on-one against me, just know, Prince, once you step foot in the ring with me, you'll never forget the name of Tafua! That's what everybody says when he comes in, you know?
Okay. I don't know. That may be the case. I might never forget your name, but just know I'm gonna win because there's nobody better than the Prince. Because I'm coming to put everybody on notice at LAW. I'm coming to take it all.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to let you know. You know, there's a man that's coming back to Sportswire that hasn't been here in over a year. And it's a man you've got a lot of history with. And he's going to be back here next Friday night in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage that is the infamous Montana is back on Sportswire Radio right before the big EBW Pro show. Infamous Montana makes his return to Sportswire Radio for the first time in 16 months. He's got plenty to get off his chest, and you're going to be a topic naturally.
Yeah. When am I not a topic with Infamous Montana?
That is a good question. That's a good question.
Without me, Infamous Montana would have never been a damn thing. Okay. I made Montana.
Well, I mean, I know you guys are obviously certainly attached at the hip. I know the history, but
he got something I still want. He got something that belongs to me.
Well, I mean, he does.
What everybody else does is ducking and dodging me.
Well, he's not ducking and dodging coming back to Sportswire Radio. He's back here finally, and you're going to be, I'm sure, a big topic throughout the program. So I have no doubt that he'll be addressing this. I'm sure. He's requested a microphone, which he hasn't been here in a long time, and we have a big show coming up here for EBW Pro, which you're going to be a part of, which is going to be part of today. Very excited about that, I imagine.
Yeah, that's in 2 weeks, if I'm correct.
21st. Yep, 2 weeks from now. Yep.
Yeah, and 6-man tag match.
Yep.
Ego versus can't remember.
That's all right. EBW.
Because there's nobody better than #Ego.
Yep. Well, you know what? At Gold Horizon, which the doors open, by the way, 6 o'clock for, of course, in Gloucester, New Jersey, our home building here for EBW Pro. I mean, we've got some big stars, and Ego's going to be a part of that. I mean, I'm very excited about that. Infamous Montana is going to be there. I mean, we're going to see Tank Talon there. I mean, it's going to be war. I mean, I am very excited about what's ahead here. I mean, King Lou is going to be there. I mean, it's going to be just...
Roblox.
How about I'll tell you who's going to be there from LAW. You know, you're going to see somebody from LAW, Slam and Sammy. Slam and Sammy from LAW. So that's another big thing that we're very excited about. I mean, that's going to be a lot of up-and-coming talents at EBW, and some places that you're going to be going to are going to see that common theme. So I'm excited about that. Infamous Montana is back on Sportswire Radio to talk about that. Hello to the legendary Doc Holliday. And yes, please hit the sub button for the All Wrestling Matters archives. Hit the sub button. And Doc Holliday is here. I would love to see Doc Holliday in LAW. You and Doc Holliday in LAW. That would be another. Add it to the bucket list. Add it to the list.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's doing good. Hit the sub button for DBW. Please do that.
We can start making a list right now.
Don't do that, because there was this guy, Joe Starr, of a company called NEW, that came on here with a list of names, and now he was basically held captive by this group, the DA. Long story. Not going to go there. So don't make the list. You're okay. Austin James. You're global now. You don't need to make a list. Yeah. You're usually on everybody else's list, so you don't need to do that. But I want to say hello to the man that interviewed a man you have a lot of history with, Ace Christian, Blaze the Bingo Hole, of course, Young Lurch, and he's got a YouTube page out there. I'd like people to check it out. I'm going to give him a little plug here, because this guy just interviewed Just Incredible. Yeah, that's right. He just interviewed Just Incredible not too long ago, and he's definitely making the rounds. He's got a big show here coming up. He had a few shows recently. If you have a chance, you want to see a different presenter. Yeah, you're not going to get the intro like me. You're not going to get the war chants. You're not going to get all the fancy lights and all the high glossy technology. But if you want a different perspective and hear about different wrestlers, check out the Blaze the Bingo Hole podcast. You can check it out here on YouTube, and give him a sub, and he's on his way to 100 subs. He's at 80 subs now. So give him a sub. He is working his way around, and maybe, who knows, Austin J. Listen, if he heard from Ace Christian, maybe he can hear from Austin James on his platform. I don't know.
Maybe you could. Maybe I'm gonna have to check that out, Tom.
Yeah, he's definitely a good watch. He's definitely a good watch. Different watch than yours truly. But hey, hit the follow button for you on Instagram. That would certainly be what we'd encourage. And hello. And I didn't mean you, AJ. Well, okay. Well, whatever that means. I'll come back to Mr. Walker. Hit the sub button for All Wrestling Matters. And let me go back to Mr. Tafua. You have heart, kid. Just know I'm a bloodline. You don't have to be scared, but just know I'm a tribal chief. And trust me, I'll keep that title nice and warm on the chosen one's waist. Welcome to the wasteland. Wait a minute. Did I hear that an outsider, a chosen one, wants to choose to take your global championship? He doesn't work in DBW. What do you say on that?
What I say on that is that if he even tries to come and take this from me, I'm going to show him that he's not a tribal chief, okay? I'm going to show him he's a tribal ripoff.
Oh, he is a Samoan, by the way. He is a Samoan.
He can have his bloodline. He can have all that. I got family. And my family is #ego. So you dare try to come and try to prove yourself in DBW, make sure you acknowledge the real team.
Ooh, I'll tell you what. I can feel the tension. It's cut like a knife here. Yeah. Give a sub button to Blaze the Bingo Hole. Before I transition to LAW, you are a champion. You've certainly had quite a week. And I'm going to add to it here because for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, it is Austin James Day. Congratulations, my friend. It is Austin James Day. It is your day, my friend. And I'll certainly make sure you have the copy when we're off the air. Yep, it is your day, my friend. Congratulations. And there you go. This is yours. And the best is yet to come. So I hope that you enjoy it. And
the best is yet to come.
Yep, best is yet to come. I say it all the time. And there you go. So hopefully you'll take it, and we'll give you the physical copy when we're off the air. And congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. I honestly appreciate it, Tom. It means a lot. Thank you.
You deserve it. You definitely deserve it. And obviously, the first screen has showed me the wrong photo, but I got the better one up. So definitely check that out. But certainly, if you're here on Sportswire Radio, my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all music and wrestling matters. And if you're here on Sportswire Radio, I'm here tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm here with D'Angelo LaFlame, who's wrestling Aaron Blaze at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. I'm here Monday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time with Timothy Titan of Money Mark Media, the Indie Vision Wrestling Podcast, and Excel and Express Wrestling. And Tuesday night, I'm here with some guy, Mark Farner of this band, Grand Funk Railroad. We're an American band. So, yeah, you get a little bit of everything here. But Daniel Tafua says, before I make the transition, I'll see you soon, kid. Acknowledge me. So, yeah, well, I'm acknowledging it's Austin James Day. That's what I'm doing. I'm acknowledging it's Austin James Day. But you know what? I want to talk about it. I've been waiting to talk about this for about 2 or 3 days now. Congratulations, because you are the newest member of the LAW roster. And boy, the irony of this, the future has arrived. We get a global future because you are now a part of LAW. And talk to me now about being a part of this roster. DBW, you've done a lot of great things with, but LAW is coming off an amazing show on Memorial Day. It was Aftermath, and it was a sold-out crowd, a packed house. And boy, did we see a lot with La El Shaddai, Godric Sandwell, Miami Mental Institute. I mean, we just saw so many different things at LAW, and now you're joining this already deep roster. And talk to me now about what it means to you to be a part of LAW as the newest member of the roster.
So it means a lot because I'm not really big with many companies, I stay with a select few, and this is the first major breakout for me. So honestly, it means a lot to be a part of this deep roster, to showcase why I am the future of professional wrestling, the Prince, Austin James. So I don't care who they have lined up for me at LAW, but bring them on a silver platter. I'm going to knock it down. I'm going to knock it out the park. I'm going to show why I am coming with intentions of being the best.
This is probably for some in LAW the first time that they're hearing you at length. I'm sure They've seen drips and drabs of you. Maybe they've seen different stuff that's come across social media. But this is the first time that they're getting a chance to hear from Austin James. What would be your message to the LAW roster?
Wait, what's that one more time, Tom?
What would be your message to the LAW roster? This is the first time that they're more than likely hearing you.
So my message is that I hope that they are ready for a young, hungry, up and coming kid, because I'm coming for the top prize. I'm not selling for nothing less. Because I want to showcase why I can be that guy who can lead the pro wrestling into the future.
Well, I think that's going to be an interesting thing because, again, we talked about Day Jamison. We talked about Godric Sanwell. Pepper Pride is the Indie Division champion. She is a protege of Rhino, a man I interviewed. Mickey Knuckles is from POR, which is like the place for hardcore and deathmatch wrestling. We have the Soul Taker, who just tag team with Savio Vega. Daniel Tafua is here. He's a tag team partner of Day Jamison's. We've got people in LAW that are everywhere. We've talked about La El Shaddai here, the champion. We've talked about the Pattersons. The Pattersons are the only brother-sister duo in wrestling that holds gold. The only one. All of wrestling, they hold the tag team championships in LAW. I mean, LAW's roster is, it's like DPW's roster. It's just that deep. It's that good. And you want to come in here right away and make a bang. I mean, you're right. You haven't been in many companies, but the companies you've been to, they've gotten a chance to know Austin James. So, I mean, how do you expect to adjust here?
Just like how I normally do. Show up and just do what I need to. Put in the work, hard work, dedication. It's all about the work.
That's it. Listen, that's what it's about. And obviously I see our friend Mr. Jake Dvorak there. Who knows? Maybe he's another member of the LAW roster. And I mean, talk about Chase Wakefield being a part of the roster. I mean, you're now a part of LAW. He's announced. You're announced right afterwards. I mean, talk about that.
Hearing that Chase Wakefield was a part of the LAW made me kind of feel like, okay, I got kind of somebody I know, like somebody I can like count on. So that knows if I get into trouble, I got a friend I can go talk to.
Yeah, just blame Chase Wakefield. Just whatever you do, something happens, it's Chase Wakefield's fault.
No, it's not Chase Wakefield. Say, who knows? If they need a tag team, me and Chase Wakefield could tag. Who knows?
But I mean, listen, they have a lot of.
It's normally Chase Wakefield's fault, though.
All right, but yeah, obviously we've known that for 2 years. But okay, they've signed a lot of talent recently, and I'm going to ask you a question. And I don't know if it's the right question to ask, but I'm going to ask it. Will we see Ego in LAW? I think, to me, if you're here, let's be honest, right? Roland and Colin, you guys are family. You said Ego is family, and I know. Ego goes everywhere. If you go, Roland goes, and Colin goes. So, I mean, I got to ask the question that everybody's got on their mind. That's Ego fans and fans of this platform. You're signed with LAW, but does that mean the rest of Ego follows suit?
I mean, if it's allowed.
Well, I'm sure that
I'm not so sure if they're ready for that type of anarchy that we can.
They got no. They got La El Shaddai with Tommy Hara. We've seen what's going on there. I mean, we've seen what Pav Novak has done there. I mean, we've seen. Listen, with what the Soul Taker's done there, Daniel Tafu, Godric Sanwell. I mentioned the Pattersons. I mean, in all of our, they're the tag team champions, the brother-sister combo, Miami Mental Institute. I mean, there is a long list of people. I mentioned Mickey Knuckles. So why not Ego? You guys fit in perfectly.
Man, I'm not against it, man. If they allow it, we can come back house.
But Silas Walker, bad idea. Bad idea. You and Silas Walker at LAW.
Man, I got mixed emotions about that one.
All right, but I think ego would be
Yeah,
fascinating to see because I think, and I look at the LAW roster, I see a lot of similarities with DBW. I see a mix of different guys, and I think again, I don't know what the council is going to do. I don't know. I know Michael McMoney, by the way, one of your bosses, I guess, on the council is going to be here on Sportswire in the
yeah,
next week, and I'll ask him that question. I'll ask him what he thinks about Chase Wakefield. I'll certainly ask him about you. I'll ask him about anybody that wants to be a
yeah.
part of
Cause
it. But I'm
shit,
just thinking about it.
I
Ego in
I
LAW.
would love, yeah, I would love to explore the new territory with my family. Yeah, like,
And how about you guys going after those tag team championships? Whatever happened between the Parsons and Miami Mental Institute? I mean, you guys have been champions everywhere you
oh
go.
yeah,
You
man,
know,
me and Colin Graves are 5-time tag team champions. So
hey, why
and
not?
the longest reigning in DBW for a reason.
Absolutely. No, I think it's great that you're a part of LAW. Obviously, we do a lot of work with them on Sportswire, and we want to shout them out. All kidding aside, we want to thank Tommy Harr. We want to thank Pav Novak. We want to thank Michael McMoney for their support of the platform, and we really are excited to see you a part of it. And I love seeing people that have been staples on Sportswire get a chance to go to places and connect with companies that we work with. I've even heard through the grapevine, Austin James, that there's other people that you've shared a locker room with that are going, that aren't ego. I actually know a couple of these names, but I can't tell it to you off on the air. I can't tell it to you on the air, but
Yeah,
maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't, but on the air I can't spoil it. But I've heard that there are even more signees coming from places you've shared locker rooms with. So that certainly excites me, and I don't know. And I've even, before I ask you a few final things on DBW, I have to throw this out. This is going to be, this is going to be totally something different. But apparently, now I have a background in covering college basketball. It has
yeah,
come to my attention that there is a job opening. Now, I don't know if I should do this, but once if Donald Trump could get elected to the president of the United States, if Hulk Hogan years ago famously wanted to run for president. I mean, Jesse the Body Ventura famously got elected as governor of the state of Minnesota. Arnold Schwarzenegger had got elected to the governor of California. I'm decided here on Sportswire Radio, especially for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform where all music and all wrestling matters. My alma mater, John Jay College, is hiring for the head men's basketball coach position. Now I'm thinking about it. I know Austin James. I'm this guy with these wrestling intros. I'm this guy that's had all these wrestlers on here. But you know what? If you want publicity, if you want promotion, I mean, I could get these kids to play, I'm sure. I could
yeah,
probably recruit some of the very best. I mean, Rhino's been here, right? Savio Vega's been here. Gary Wolf of ECW's been here. I mean, who hasn't been here on Sportswire Radio? And I mean, if you really want to get the best players to play, I mean, like I said, Jesse the Body Ventura got elected as governor of Minnesota. He had no experience. He won the job. Look at what he did for his state. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I mean, he got elected as governor of California. He had no experience. Look at what he did there. I mean, whatever you think about Donald Trump, I mean, he's got elected as president of the United States twice. I don't know
yeah,
if I agree with everything, but why not Tom Bryce become the head coach of the John Jay College men's basketball team? I went to the school. I know the job. I know what it takes. I know how to get there. So I'm just throwing it out there because you know what? I know we're going to get to wrestling in a minute, but I'm putting this out there when we're
yeah,
off the air
yeah,
that I want, and we'll continue to do sports. Well, listen, can you imagine Austin James talking to a basketball player to come to the school? Can you imagine Jake Dvorak? Could you imagine Roland Havoc, Colin Graves? Could you imagine Daniel Tafua? How about all these LAW people that come on? How about DB Silas Walker? I don't know if you'd want that, but Mr. Phillips, maybe Mr. Phillips could maybe be on that Zoom call. We're trying to recruit those players. I mean, Omen Black, it's his platform. Got to mention
yeah,
it. Aaron Blaze is the headline. D'Angelo LaFlame, tomorrow's guest. How about Rhino? How about Savio Vega? We could put them on the call to get the best players to come to our school. So I'm putting it out there. I'm interested in the job. I want to be the next head coach of the John Jay College men's basketball team. So I'm doing it. I'm applying. I'm applying. You know how I'm applying, Austin James? I'm applying right now live in prime time on the brightest
yeah,
light page, a platform that I built from scratch with all of you in the chat, all the wrestlers, all of the wrestling companies. I don't think there's any person more qualified for this job than yours truly. I built a platform from 0 subscribers to 1,500 plus, 3,000 followers nearly on Facebook, and we've had on 3 of the greatest wrestlers, in my opinion, of all time, in Rhino, Savio Vega, and Gary Wolf. So yeah, I'm doing that, and that's what we're gonna do. And that there can't be no other way. And yeah, never say never.
It, Tom.
What's that?
I support you.
Thank you very much. I hope that we get the job, but who knows? All right, so obviously we got that out of the way. I want to talk to you for a few more minutes on DBW. So now that you've won the Global Championship, you've gotten Silas Walker in the rearview mirror. What's next for the Prince of DBW, Austin James?
What's next is me defending this beautiful championship and proving why I am the Prince of DBW and putting on the best matches, the best clinicals that you've ever seen. So, like I said,
do you expect to be competing at Total Domination X? Do you expect to be competing at Total Domination X?
Yes. Because I expect to be competing at the rest of these shows to showcase why this is the championship to go for.
And you have no idea on who you'd want to face. That's up to, obviously, in part.
Yeah, that's up to the man. That's up to the upper management. That's up to Silas. That's up to Mr. Phillips.
But obviously, we know that you're getting a call from DBW management, and we'll certainly let you take that call with DBW management. We'll certainly see what happens there. But obviously, is there anything else you want to plug, share, or say before we sign off?
I want to say, make sure you grab your Ego shirts at DBW Bonfire. Make sure you continue supporting me. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe to Sportzwire Radio, the #1 global podcast radio. Make sure you turn on the notification bell too, so you can stay up to date with all the notifications from Sportzwire.
Appreciate that.
And make sure to subscribe to DBW. Yes. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification there. Or if not, I'll come and give you guys a death note.
Well, you know what? Before we sign off, I'm actually going to make life a little easier for some in the chat. I'm going to put the DBW YouTube page up, so that way people can just hit
and through there. Before I get off here, I want to say thank you to the LAW management for taking that opportunity on me. Thank you. And I'm going to show you guys why I am the Prince, the future of pro wrestling.
Well, I'm very excited about everything. I'll tell you what, I am very, you know what, you and LAW is very cool. I think that the names that we're going to see a part of LAW announced, it's going to be really cool. And it's so great to see people from this platform go to other places and get those opportunities with people that we connect with, which is so cool. And also DBW, please hit the sub button for DBW on YouTube. Austin James is on Instagram. We're going to put his Instagram up before we sign off one more time. Make sure you follow him on Instagram. Let's get those followers up because we definitely want more people to sign Austin James. We want more opportunities for him. We want to see him continue to do what he loves best, and that is continue to kick butt in the ring. And that's why he is the reigning defending DBW Global Champion. And also why on this date, it is Austin James Day on all Sportswire radio platforms. My friend, congratulations. Thank you for all that you do for us. And it was a very emotional interview, very important one, and I think one that definitely the aftermath of what happened with the fallout of you being DBW Global Champion is now that you are definitely now globally known, and I can't wait to see what you do coming up at Total Domination X, and also whenever LAW certainly has their next show, and we'll be talking a lot about that with Michael McMoney, one of the people who signed you. So thank you so much, Mike. Congratulations.
Thank you. And if you want some, come get some. Not that hard.
Oh, my God. That's why he is the Prince of DBW. That is the global champion, Austin James, and he certainly had plenty to say. He's also the newest member of the LAW roster. Also, he's in action for EBW Pro here coming up at Gold Horizon. That is 2 weeks from today. Please support EBW Pro. The infamous Montana is on here right before that show, so definitely check all of that out here. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, D'Angelo the Flame, the Real Raw Energy. What a trio of blockbuster shows here on Sportswire Radio this week. We had Cato, the controversial one, the Prince of DBW, the future Austin James, and the Real Raw Energy, D'Angelo the Flame, closes out these trio of great shows. Thank you so much, everybody, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one, Global Radio, Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling matters. Thank you so much, everybody.